If elected, what would you do to help continue to promote job growth and grow Florida's economy?
I think if elected, I would recommend that government stay out of the way of Florida entrepreneurs. I think less government regulation is the key to helping businesses flourish. I think the fair market system is the best way to allow our businesses in Florida to proceed and grow. There are a couple other issues I'd like to bring up, and one is we need a fair legal system. We need to make it have strong intellectual property rights. We also need to make it a reasonable bankruptcy process that respects creditors but also helps an entrepreneur get another chance. Second businesses are more successful than first businesses, and we need to keep our entrepreneurs in the marketplace. We need an excellent workforce, and that's a major role of education. We need to recruit Florida's academic all-stars just like we recruit our sports stars. And if elected, I would fund a position in the admissions department of every single Florida university, and this recruiter would be in charge of identifying and recruiting our academic all-stars here in this state, and actually all-stars from around the country. Think of the power of a kid in Minnesota in the winter getting a Florida Gator hat as a recruiting technique to bring these academic all-stars to Florida. They would need a full-ride scholarship. Right now, Bright Futures pays for tuition, but it doesn't cover room and board and other issues. And we need to make sure that we can recruit these all-star students who will hopefully stay in Florida and help us build our tech economy and our economy for the 21st century.
How would you improve Florida's healthcare situation?
Florida's healthcare situation is in crisis right now. Healthcare makes up a third of the state budget. Right now, there are three things I would do. First, I would expand medical residencies here in Florida. We have a lot of medical schools that produce excellent doctors, but we don't have training for the doctors that they have to get before they can go out into practice. Studies have shown that doctors tend to stay and live and practice where they got their final training, where they got their residency training. We need to expand those residencies now in Florida so the doctors will come and stay here. We're on a potential serious shortage of physicians in Florida. Expanding residencies will help. We also need to craft a waiver to Medicaid expansion so that Floridians can access the $3 billion in taxes that we pay to Washington for health care expansion, that at this point Florida gets none of that money back. That's $3 billion. We need to use that money, craft a waiver with using market-based solutions to drive patient care to primary doctors, to nurse practitioners, to PAs, so that patients can get coverage in a very cost-effective situation, the primary care doctor's office, rather than getting their coverage through the emergency room, rather than getting health care at the most expensive site. This will help Floridians by making the workforce more healthy. It will help us have a very strong competitive workforce. The final part of healthcare, I think, is that we need to make medical billing transparent. People need to understand their bill and their medical bills and understand the cost of their care.
What challenges do you see in Florida's K-12 education system? And if elected, what would you do to address those challenges?
I think Florida education is the key to expanding and improving the business environment here. We need a well-educated, engaged workforce, and education's the way to do that. Right now, I'm concerned that our students are not ready when they enter kindergarten. We need to fund voluntary pre-K programs. Right now, Florida is 50th in the nation of funding these programs. If a student is not reading at grade level by the third grade, only 1 in 6 of those students will ever catch up. And it's extraordinarily expensive to help them catch up. We need to have our students ready the day they enter kindergarten to learn, to progress, to flourish. Funding pre-K will help with that. It's extraordinarily important. We need also to have a business class in every high school in this state. Students that learn how business works, learn how to take a job interview, learn how to interact with the public. That student is going to be a very good worker. He's going to be an asset to his community. The success of a community is directly related to the amount of education that that community has. And the business class for all high school students is very important. I think each class should develop their own business and learn firsthand what it's like to run a business, to hire employees, to deal with the regulations. I think that this would be an important experience for all students. Finally, I think local control of education is extremely important. I think state mandates are not good for local school districts. I think Common Core similarly is not good for local districts. I think that local control is best for education. My name's Greg Mackay. I'm running for Florida House District 54. My website is votemackay.com. That's vote, M-A-C-K-A-Y.com. Please check us out, and I appreciate your time and support.